everybody. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a wonderful morning and you have a wonderful day as well. So, Foodie did a cooking video. And as you can imagine, it was a mess. It's always going to be a mess with Chantal. But before she did the cooking video, she was going off on her community tab at different reactors. Like she just took great offense on some of the reactors giving their opinions about her newest vlogs and her lack of health. So I want to go over the community tab and show all the different postings because I know Chantal very well. She has a pattern of going into a raging on her community post tab, doing like 3 or 4 posts in a row where she goes off and then she deletes everything. So I wanted to show them to you before she gets a wild hair and decides to get rid of them. Also covering some of the stuff on Twitter, different thoughts from different people on Twitter, and then we'll get into the video react itself. So let's start with the community tab. Let's go for that first because that's something that, knowing Chantal, who knows, she might get rid of it within like the first minute, the first hour, and then they'll all be gone. And I wanted to capture that just to show how mad she is. So let me just find the right tab here. All right. And there it is. There's her page right there. You guys can see it. And she changed her profile picture again. Foodie, look, you can do whatever picture you want. It's your page. But you know that really isn't you. And it's especially ironic because while you are someone that you would never dream of coming on camera without a bazillion filters working, the contour filter to make the bottom half of your face look smaller, the skin smoothing filter to hide all the pores and imperfection of your skin, the big eye filter to enlarge your eyes, to balance out the largeness of your face. I mean, you've got like 3 or 4 filters at work, girl. You making this profile picture and then the post that we're about to see, ladies and gentlemen, going after other people's looks. I mean, the hypocrisy of it all. But Foodie took great offense in some of the reactors that talk about her, talking about her health and her appearance. So she posted this an hour ago, and of course you can see this is a picture of French Fry Girl. She says about Frenchie, I can recommend some chin spanks if you want. Also, why the F are you commenting on what I eat? You didn't get this way by eating an entire pineapple for dinner, just saying. Chantal, a few things about that. First of all, thank you for telling on yourself once again. So you're basically self-confessing that you use chin spanks, which points in the direction that you're using something to hide your weight gain. You're using chin spanks where some other people might use spanks for their legs or their thighs or their hips or their butt. You actually have face spanks. You're saying you can recommend some chin spanks. That means you must be using it. Also, as compared to French Fry Girl, this is French Fry Girl unfiltered. This is what she really looks like. She's not using filters of any kind. She is comfortable with herself and she's coming on camera as her natural self. There's no tomfoolery here. With you, there's all kinds of tomfoolery. All kinds. You would never come on camera being your natural self. And it's really weird because you claim to the audience, I'm comfortable with myself. I'm very comfortable. And yet, madam, there was that moment in time where everybody kept telling you to use StreamYard, go on panel, do panels with people, make that interesting content. And that would have been great content. You know, you on panel with other people. But you turned on StreamYard, and StreamYard doesn't have a bazillion filters attached to the camera. You cannot use your filters with the StreamYard camera. You turned it on. You saw how you really looked without the filters. And within 60 seconds, you turned that camera off. So you, madam, as a heavily filtered person on YouTube, throwing criticism as somebody who has no filter, it just doesn't wash. it really just doesn't work. Going after somebody's natural appearance at the same time when you're on YouTube, you have a completely unnatural, heavily filtered, heavily censored appearance. So what's the next post? Her going after Kaya, saying, listen, SpongeBob, there is no way you have the nerve to try to lecture your audience about my morality or behavior when you're sleeping and defend a convicted child person. You know, going after Kaya. Going back after French Fry Girl. So it wasn't enough that she went after Frenchie once. We're going to do it again because she likes to go after Frenchie. She does. Like poking at Frenchie's appearance at the same time she's afraid of people seeing her natural appearance. She covers herself from head to toe. She's just self-confessed to us that she uses the chin spanks, always looking for the right camera angles to disguise what's going on with her body, going after Frenchie, saying, this person repeatedly says my hands look like trotters. Seems a bit hypocritical, no? The only thing Girl World knows what to do best is project. And no, this is not photoshopped. It's a literal screenshot. Haven't looked at a mirror in years, huh? Well, the same could be said about you, Foodie. When is the last time you've looked in the mirror? As I remember it, madam, when you were back in Canada, you avoided mirrors of all kinds. You never looked in mirrors in your own house. You didn't like anything that showed your true reflection. You would freak out if somebody posted a picture on Twitter or the Kiwi Farms showing your reflection in a barbecue grill knob or a mirror in a department store. You would try to get rid of that stuff. And if somebody posted it, you would go back to the video and edit that part out. You don't like mirrors. And truth be told, I don't think you like Girl World because you decided to put yourself on a public platform. Yes, you did, which means you were in front of the public eye. You did that for the sake of profit. But each person that watches you, whether it's a reactor or an audience member, at the point that they're watching you, they become a different set of mirrors. So when you come on to YouTube, it's like walking into a hall of mirrors and each of them reflecting back your reflection to you. And you've always been a liar all your life, hurting people, manipulating people. So the people that watch you, whether they're on your side or our side, they're just simply reflecting back to you what you are. And that's always bothered you. You being a tremendous liar, liars don't like truth. They don't like people speaking the truth or exposing the truth. And when it comes to an extreme liar, the closer that a person gets to the truth of that liar, the more they get upset. And especially in your case, because you like to keep up a world of delusion and fantasy. And the greatest enemy to that is reality. So here she is going after Frenchie again. So 3 posts in a row. Let's go back to the timeline. This post was an hour ago. This one 2 hours ago. This one 2 hours ago. So she posted 2 posts in 2 hours ago, one in 1 hour ago. I don't know if she's done. Usually the pattern is like 3 or 4 posts in a row. She wants to rage and then she wants to get rid of it. She doesn't want the backlash or getting in trouble with YouTube. So more than likely, these posts will be gone probably within less than a day. But too late, Chantal, because Twitter already has it. I already have it. Other reactors and clip channels might get it. So you want to rage? You want to show your butt? Well, you can't hide it once that happens. So there's that. There's the posts. All right. So let's go on over to Twitter. A few things on Twitter I'd like to show you before we get into the react of her video. Okay. So are we where we need to be? All right. Yes, we are. So there's my Twitter account. For those who want to follow me on Twitter, it's Wild Girl Sarah. And if you're on Twitter, I recommend it because sometimes YouTube, the notifications don't go out. Whenever I do a live or a video, I post here first. So let's look at some of the stuff. Here's the first post from Fondue Pondu. Fondue Pondu says, 9 days ago, you bought 4 packs of pita, 3 containers of labna, and 1 mayonnaise. Today you bought 3 packs of pita, 2 more labna, and 2 bottles of mayo, clearly stuffing and coping. Can anybody answer this question for me? How do you go through an entire freaking bottle of mayonnaise in less than 9 days? What is she doing? Is she drinking it? And the labna, I mean, is she eating labna straight out of the container? A container of labna and mayonnaise, that should last for at least 2 weeks, right? I mean, I make sandwiches. You just put a thin layer of mayonnaise on a sandwich. You're not putting globs and globs of mayonnaise. How is she going through all that mayonnaise so quickly? Like, what is she using that mayonnaise for? Like this, I don't get it. Okay, this is from D Angry Scott saying freaking blank. Foodie Beauty, maybe your fact wouldn't sweat if you didn't eat chips with mayo and ketchup, cheese, and olives for breakfast. So I guess the meal she's going to cook for us today in the video is her breakfast. So imagine your first meal of the day, which should be the most nutritious, includes frozen French fries. Huh? French fries for breakfast? Look, the only way that would make sense is if you're out all night and it's 3 in the morning and you are hungry and you're so hungry you can't wait till you go to sleep and wake up in the morning and make breakfast. So you're stopping off at the fast food restaurant to get like a White Castle or something. That would make sense. But to be in your own home, you've had nothing to do, you've gone nowhere. You could eat anything you want. You can just make a simple eggs and toast kind of breakfast with some coffee. And she's going to include French fries, not even a healthy carb, no whole wheat toast or anything. And look, it was a simple meal. It wasn't complicated. You guys are looking at the picture. Just a simple meal, and she's sweating. Why are you sweating, Chantal? I'm asking a genuine question. Why are you sweating? The house that you have, there's air conditioning. You got the air conditioning all the way down to the Arctic setting. Why are you sweating so much? That stove can't be that hot because you're just making simple food, but she is sweating so much. And can I ask a question? Man, what's going on with your eyes looking like that? You've got the bags and stuff underneath the eyes. Listen, I'm not trying to be mean and pick on your appearance, but you look tired, like you haven't slept or you've cried or maybe both. You don't look good. You look like you haggard. Sorry, that's the only word that comes to mind right now, haggard. You don't look well. You don't look well at all, like you've been through it. And if you have to go through it to cook a simple meal, there's something wrong here. I can cook breakfast without going through all that. Okay, let's pivot away with something positive. Oh, look at the cat, by courtesy of the cats. Look at the little bean playing. Oh, I want her. I want her. And this, oh my God, my heart melted when I saw this. Why I love cats. It looks like a baby booger. I want her. Look at those eyes. I can't. I must have. Give me that kitty. Booger needs a playmate. Although she wouldn't like a playmate. She's far too jealous with her mother. Anything else here? I think that's it. I think that's all for now in that regard. So we got to get out of here and go straight to her video, which we will do. Let me just pull that up. Where is my tab? Okay, we're here. We got it. I'm on it. All right. So we're on the video now. I think I got past the Scameo stuff. I think I did. So there's Chantal. She's in her kitchen. She said she was going to do some cooking videos for us. She had one grocery haul with all kinds of stuff that she could have used all of that to do cooking videos as she promised. Well, we really didn't see any cooking out of her. Now we've had grocery haul number 2 that she claimed was a top off, although that was a lot of food for a simple top off. And in my opinion only, I think she's been doing different things, trying to throw YouTube off. She wants to be able to do the mukbangs and get away with it. So she's confusing YouTube by doing the walking videos and now the cooking videos, just trying to like sneak around her having B moments on camera. And she wants to call those B moments mukbangs, claiming that the casserole dish full of pot pie, that's not a B moment. Oh no, that's just a simple meal. Like she's trying to throw off YouTube. So this might be a throwing off YouTube so I can continue my original content kind of thing. Yeah, that's what this is. And Chantal, before we get started, I watched a little bit of your video. I give you enough for cooking, and here's why. And I'm a smaller channel than you. You want to do a cooking video, then that means the food is the star, not you. Of course, it's your video, and you want to be shown as cooking the food, but your camera angles are horrible. I don't know if you can put like a shelf or something near the stove or next to the stove, and you could position your camera in front of the stove somewhere to where the camera shines down on the food. But there's a lot of shots of your backside, like people seeing your back. That really doesn't showcase the food. You're putting yourself in front of the camera. How can people really see the food properly? But I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let Chantal talk. Let's go.
Hello, guys. You'll not believe where I have my phone clipped. In the cupboard. Yeah. Well, I mean, what can I do? Okay.
What can you do? This is your channel. This is your content. You want people to get into your content, right? Right. So you as a YouTuber that you are pushing for that 100K, you know camera angles are important, Chantal. So why are you slacking? Why are you doing an absolute fail move by not putting the camera where it needs to be? Mama, if you can spend $60 on a takeout meal, you can't spend a few dollars to find some kind of shelving to put the camera where it needs to go. You're going to do it behind you. You can see Chantal, like if she's in front of the stove, the camera's behind her. How can we see the food? We can't. You're just seeing her backside.
You might see a few fruit flies because I have fruits and vegetables out in the open. But
just because you have fruits and vegetables in the house doesn't mean automatically fruit flies. Fruit flies really aren't as much attracted, I understand, to fresh fruit as they are to rotting fruit. So do you have rotting food in the house?
Anyway, so today I'm going to get my chef apron on.
And even if they are, I can't believe I'm suggesting this stuff to Chantal. If you have fruit flies in the house that are attracted to your food, you know what to do? You cover up the food. Put it in some sort of container to where the flies won't be attracted to the smell. They can't get to it. Do plastic buckets and containers exist in the world? They do. Or covered up with a towel or something. Keep the flies away from the food.
Because I'm going to cook for you and me and my husband a traditional Syrian breakfast that
she's not even begun the cooking yet and she's already coated in sweat. That doesn't make sense to me. The stove isn't even on and she's sweating. Doesn't that place have air conditioning? Why is she sweating? Is it because she's moving around? Like her not used to moving around? But she's taken us on walking vlogs and she's kicked soccer balls. Her body should be used to a little bit of movement. I just don't understand the sweating if there's no food being cooked.
My husband's from Syria, and when I met him, he explained what he likes for breakfast. And it's been a while since anyone cooked him a really good breakfast before I met him. And now I make this almost every day for him. Very simple, very fast. I'm not making pretty much any of this stuff from scratch, so that's why it's fast. But it's
So you're telling the audience, I am not in about that life of making things from scratch. And yet you want to be successful with cooking videos, right? That's the idea. Let me do some cooking videos and have different kind of content on my channel. And I expect to be successful doing that by essentially buying tons of processed, already made, already cooked stuff, and all I'm doing is reheating it. That's going to be successful. Just buying things already cooked that is just frozen, and all you're doing is heating them up or reheating them or microwaving. Nobody gets into that, Chantal.
Just a few staple foods I'm going to show you, traditional staple foods. So let's get to
the fact that she's in a home and she's got a stove and she could make a home cooked meal. She's got a problem with fast food. And even at home, she's buying and she's eating stuff that you would find at a fast food restaurant is wild to me. If you have a choice where you have the time and the space and the money to buy to buy healthy food, better food, you're still continuing a toxic pattern of eating fast food items in your house. That's crazy.
Don't mind the clutter a little bit. Okay, so these pots are clean. It's just that for lack of space, I put them on the stove when they're clean because I usually end up using them anyways. All right, so number one things that are...
Okay, I'm going to say something. You can tell that stove has hardly ever been used. Like it's never been touched. And I know this because Chantal is not a clean person. She is not that person that she would cook, have dirty dishes, wipe down the stove thoroughly, inside the burners and all that. So look how clean that stove is. Knowing her habits with cleaning, if it looks that clean, that means she's never touched it.
Staple in a Arabic breakfast is full. Number one is full medames, which is fava beans. Now there's different variations. If it were me, my husband doesn't really like onions and peppers. I would fry up some vegetables and put them in. But this is fava beans mashed up with cumin, spices, tomato. Now there's also a version where you can add tahina, but I don't have tahina right now. I actually forgot to get some, so I'm not going to add that in there. But with some lemon juice, it's really nice. But even that is in here. Everything is in here. You can't go wrong. All the spices, it's ready to eat. The tomato, everything. So the full is number one. Then, and then another staple, eggs, which is the staple in most.
Well, that was a quick jump cut. And I wonder if the reason why she did that quick jump cut is because she would have to bend over and get the eggs and stuff out of the fridge, and she did not want to bend over in front of the camera, so she cut that out. Maybe that was why. Oh, that's a great face right there. Would y'all mind? Just give me a second. Like, this is a great moment. Chantal, I love the fact that you're photogenic. I do. Like, I'm into photography. I love doing photography in my spare time. It's a great, relaxing hobby. There we go, girl. You're so photogenic today. Thank you. Please continue.
Breakfasts around the world, but I'm going to make them how my husband likes them. And I'm going to cook the full in the same pan. So
just taking stuff out of a can, dumping it in a pot, done. This is supposed to be inspirational cooking. And the crazy thing is, she survives off of her YouTube income. That means the longer the video, the more ads that YouTube can place on it, the more money she makes. If she made things from scratch versus just opening a can or opening a bag from the freezer and heating stuff up, it would take more time for her to prepare the meal, which means the video could be longer. and therefore more interesting. So Chantal, by taking this lazy, easy way out with the cooking, you're actually shooting yourself in the foot with the money you could make off your video if it were interesting.
Let's get to, okay? So we have the pan here. I'm going to add some olive oil. I know I add a lot of olive oil. It's because this pan is not the best when it comes to non-stick.
And that's another thing, Chantal. That's another thing. First of all, you don't have a passion for cooking. You told us that. You've let us know you're not about that life of cooking. It's not your favorite thing. You'd rather have somebody else cook something and bring it to you. You like the convenience of takeout. You like the convenience of fast food. So by you doing cooking videos, you're doing something you don't like and you're not passionate about. Second thing, those who do cooking videos, they have a real passion for it. They make sure to have the right tools. They have good pots, good pans, good serving utensils. They take pride in what they're doing, and it shows. And even if you are not into the cooking, if you're going to do cooking videos, you're making enough money, you could buy good cooking tools, correct? So why haven't you? You're complaining about the pan being low quality, but you could have easily fixed that by going on a shopping trip.
Put it on like medium heat.
What in the, did y'all see that? Hold on a minute. Wait a second. Wait. Go back. Please go back. I need to see this again. Like, she's on the way right now. I'll stop it at where I want it to be. Hold up.
Put it on like medium heat.
Right there. There's the shot I was looking for. What are you what are you doing? So she told us a minute ago that she stores her pots and pans on top of the stove because they've got a small kitchen. There's not a lot of storage space, although she could easily find storage space. And then look underneath. Look inside the oven. She's got stuff stored there too. Is there nowhere else in the apartment they can put the pots and pans neatly? Is there no shelf they can put up somewhere where you can put all that stuff and get it out of the way? Because it looks messy. I mean, anybody just happening on to Chantal's video would swear that she's baking something in the oven and cooking a bunch of stuff on the stove, and she hasn't even started yet. By the way, Chantal, by the way, and especially when it comes to cooking with oil in a pan, what happens to oil in a pan? It splatters. So if you've got clean pots and pans on the stove and you're cooking on, say, the front burners, if that oil splatters, it's going to go everywhere, including the clean dishes. So it would just be smart to put that stuff elsewhere. But this was wild to me. Like, she's using her oven and her stove as like a storage space. And yet it would look so much more aesthetically pleasing to get all the stuff you're not using out of the way, out of the shot, versus having it there. It just looks cluttery.
I had to spend hours cleaning this off of my stove before I can use it. Carburetor tune-up conditioner.
Yeah, she said in the live that she made a mistake with cleaning. And I don't know if she was trolling by doing that. If she was lying, more than likely she was lying, that by mistake, does she clean with carburetor cleaner? Let's see that again. I want to see that can of carburetor cleaner. I really want to take a good look at it.
I had to spend hours cleaning this off of my stove.
So you guys can see the can clearly. Now, when she talked about that in her live, I thought, well, was it because it looked like a can of cleaner? Was the writing in Arabic and she couldn't understand? But I'm looking at it and the writing is in English. So she could easily see what it was. How could you make a mistake like that, Chantal? And why is the carburetor cleaner in the kitchen anyway? That's an item for the car. Why is it in the freaking kitchen? I mean, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. How could you mistake a can of carburetor cleaner for a regular cleaner? I'm sure it doesn't smell the same. How I don't know if that stuff's flammable, but how could you make a mistake if you're looking at the can and it says carburetor cleaner right there in your face, big bold letters? So I don't know if she was trolling or she was lying, but that's an interesting close-up. The fact that there's no way you could mistake that for, say, spick and span or something.
Before I can use it.
There we go. Like, you can see the writing. It's in English. And it's got a big warning label right beneath it. I can't see what it says, but it says danger. Danger.
Carburetor tune-up condition.
There we go. There's a better shot right there. It's not even in Arabic where she can't understand. How could you miss that?
I thought it was a stove cleaner.
No, you didn't.
And no, I have no makeup, just lip gloss because I just woke up. My eyes are still red. You can still see my CPAP marks. Yeah.
And you want your cooking videos to go viral. You want them to make lots of money. Yet you're coming on camera. You're not ready. You could easily be ready. This is your video, Chantal. You decide your content the way it appears, the way it sounds. You can take 15 minutes, take a shower, put your makeup on, decide how you're going to present the video, fix the camera angle, all of that. You're confessing to the camera that you don't have pride with your content. You just woke up, CPAP lines are still on your face, nothing. You're just getting right to it. You could have waited a few minutes. A few minutes would have made a world of difference.
Okay. Oh, yeah. First, I'm going to fry up a few mushrooms for the eggs. Because, yeah. Salah likes mushrooms in his breakfast and his eggs. And I do too, actually. They're good. So, don't.
More mushrooms in a can versus getting fresh mushrooms and cooking them. Maybe with some spices or whatnot. Make them fresh, actually fresh. Fresh is better instead of canned.
Don't discan vegetables, okay?
I will, only because this is your cooking video. And by using nothing but processed canned stuff, you are lazy and it sucks.
All right. So we're just going to put some mushrooms here.
And look at the camera angle. Terrible. You just see her. You see the backside of her. You're not even seeing the cooking process. All of that could have been fixed if she had Salah just put a shelf in front of the stove and aimed her camera down, or that little shelf right next to the stove. Clear some of the stuff off of that. Find one of those little stands that you can put up that holds onto your iPhone. Because those are cheap. I've seen them all over eBay and Amazon. Those cost what, $15, $20, $30? She got the money for one of those. Buy one of those, put it up, get the camera angle right.
smoking because I think the AC Delco is still cooking up. Put the leftovers in a thing for tomorrow's breakfast. Hey, I'm new to being a housewife, okay? So have some mercy on me.
Oh, and don't think I don't know what you're doing, Chantal. Okay? You're purposely putting the camera at a higher angle up to make yourself seem smaller. That's why the camera isn't down lower, because it would capture more of a wide angle. You're a woman of a bigger size, so you got those camera angles down of how to avoid looking bigger on camera.
And I'm gonna let them fry around. Okay, gonna get my eggs ready.
Like, again, this is constructive criticism. People who do cooking videos, they do some prep work. If there are ingredients that need to be cut, they either cut them on camera or they have them pre-cut and pre-prepared in little bowls right there waiting. They have everything prepped up, like anything that needs to be cut, anything that needs to, any amounts, you got it already there. So like when you get to the cooking, you just dump it in, and you can also tell the audience how much of each thing. So the audience can follow along with you, like a teaspoon of this or a cup of this. Like the way the audience, if they're following your recipe, they know how much of this, how much of that. This is what it's supposed to look like. She's not doing any of that. Like if you're making some kind of scrambled eggs, first of all, eggs don't take that long to cook. You could have these scrambled eggs in a bowl already scrambled up and just dump them in there.
All right. Ow! I guess I'm not as hard-headed as everyone thinks.
Can I just say how gross that just was? She's in the kitchen. She's sweating. You have to know that her hijab and the head wrap, they've got to be coated in sweat, and she's using her head to crack the egg, and that's just unhygienic. You like your sweat breakfast, Chantal?
The rest of the egg. Oh. You gotta hurry and do it. Let the mushrooms
You wouldn't have to hurry if you prepared everything.
just don't burn. Okay. And then we'll take a fork. And we beat it. Beat it.
The camera is so high up that she has to like pull the bowl up. Like, look, this is what I'm doing. If it were down lower, she wouldn't have to do that. She's got it way too high up.
Yay. Now the mushrooms have a lot of moisture because they're canned. So that's why you're hearing that. I'm going to turn the heat down a bit. Try not to fry my abaya sleeves. Put some salt. I need more black pepper. Okay. And there you have it.
Yay, you scrambled some eggs in a bowl. Well done. That's something I do every morning. I have eggs for breakfast. I don't consider that a feat of strength, but go ahead.
Pretty sick. But I'm not. All right. Yeah. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right. Do 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 do.
More canned stuff. look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not a mean person, but I am totally confused and flummoxed. What is going on with the back of Chantal's head? She's got this, it looks like a knot or like this square thing. Is it fabric? Is it her hair? It's just the shape of her head is just throwing me off. Like her head looks round from here to here, then the back of her head, it just looks strange. I'm trying to figure out what it is.
I know it looks, you're probably thinking, looks a bit weird, but don't judge a breakfast by its can, okay? Now, put the food back.
So far, I've seen less cooking and more Chantal just wandering around the kitchen getting things out of cans. Like, if I were someone that had a passion for cooking, looking for recipes, this would not be a video that I would watch more than just a couple of minutes. This would not intrigue me or interest me to keep watching. Because there's more shots of her than of the actual food. There's more of her wandering around the kitchen back and forth than anything else. And her taking every opportunity to stick her face in the camera like, hi. This is not a show my face video, Chantal. This is a cooking video, so commit to it.
I let that cook on one side of the pan here, and I'm going to put the eggs on the other.
Nobody could even see the food up close.
When the food gets to be a good temp, because the eggs, they don't take long to cook, right?
No.
So you just got to heat the food through. It's already pretty much cooked.
Yes. So you're calling this a cooking video, and there's not much cooking. It's just so little cooking and more or less just reheating stuff already cooked. And why do we need the labna?
Oh, also, we have to put some potato fries in the air fryer.
No, we don't. You could easily do without that. Why do you need fries for breakfast? That is such a not needed item. That doesn't even make sense. Fries for breakfast. How about some whole wheat toast? How about a bagel or something? Why does it have to be freaking fries?
Pouring the eggs.
Look, I don't know what dish she's cooking, but why not cook the eggs separately? Just to make sure they're all the way cooked. You know, is this a recipe she's done before? Because it's not even screaming omelet to me. I don't know what this is. Going to be a mess.
And with the mushrooms. Let that cook a bit. Hello, I'm so happy you're in my kitchen with me today. All right, air fryer time. My air fryer needs to be cleaned.
Okay, right there. There's a good shot. Look at that freezer. Y'all take a good look at it. That sucker is stocked from top to bottom with processed everything. There's more processed everything in that freezer than stuff in her actual refrigerator. When you compare the amount of food in the fridge, compare the freezer's stocked, absolutely stocked. And then the stuff in the fridge, there's not that much. But all of that is processed food.
So bad. Just a few. I just reach in like this and grab.
And that's just disgusting. Did anybody see anything here where she washed her hands? So she's in the kitchen, she's cooking, she's sweating, she's hot, she's uncomfortable. Not even bothering to wash those doggone hands. She's putting her sweaty hands in with those frozen fries. Chantal, please, please don't do it.
Our freezer is mostly pita bread. That. Here comes the sun. All right.
Just a few fries, girl. You had like 4 or 5 handfuls of fries.
Good job. Eggs. Cook here. There's a little bit of cheese inside the eggs.
Of course there is, because you can't eat anything unless cheese is involved somewhere. Got to include the cheese. It would be blasphemy for you to eat something without cheese, some kind of cheese. So she's got cheese in the eggs. We've already got the cheese. And on top of that, she's going to have labna. More cheese.
I like using the processed burger cheese slices because they melt better and they have like a more tanginess to them.
Wait, stop it. Ma'am, I'm watching your hands. Like, you are just like, you're doing this. That's more than, there's more than one slice there. More than one. Like, you're putting as many slices of cheese on as many eggs as you have. It's like, would you like some eggs with your cheese?
Here comes the sun.
And nobody can see what you're cooking. There's not been one good close-up shot of the food. There's a close-up shot of you, but not the food.
That's a Beatles song for any of you musically illiterate people.
That looks a mess.
Although, I will admit, I'm completely music illiterate when it comes to Taylor Swift. So I can't talk. Okay, guys. I prepared some more traditional things. We have some labna with za'atar and olive oil. Za'atar is like a...
Okay, so I'm confused. Y'all help me here. So we've got 2 plates going on. We got the plate in the back, which is, she's not showing it to the camera, although that's what she was cooking. Throughout the video, she was cooking that meal over there. But for some reason, instead of showing that first, she's showing us like a little snack platter type situation with like 1 teeny tiny egg with French fries. So you got 2 plates for breakfast. What's the main plate all about?
thyme seasoning, black olives, mac deuce, the pickled eggplant.
So basically, this is like your side breakfast. This is your backup breakfast. We got the main heavy stuff over here, and then we got the backup breakfast.
Stuff with nuts and peppers, mortadella, French fries, and tomato and jubin. Jubin is cheese, and I'm sweaty. Try making a full breakfast with an abaya hijab. Nothing.
You know what, Chantal? Whenever I make breakfast, it's just enough to put on a plate, and even then, there's lots of space left on the plate. But you're at the point where you need 2 plates. That's crazy.
Complaining, but you know. And okay, and now we have some food and eggs. So I'm going to go prepare the table, and I'll see you guys in a second.
I mean, that whole plate was covered. That looks really, really heavy. Lots of eggs, lots of cheese, whatever that stuff is on the side. It's a lot. Just that plate alone would fill up your stomach. And she's got another plate of stuff that she does not need.
All right. So here it is.
So is that plate on the left supposed to be for Salah? And then the plate on the right is for her? Or are they both for her? I think they're both for her. Because if that other plate was for Salah, she wouldn't put French fries. And she wouldn't have all that cheese. That looks like a side plate for her. Chantal, you got carbs everywhere. You've got the pita bread, it looks like 2 pieces of pita bread, carbs. You got like tons of cheese over here, carbs. You've got French fries, carbs. More cheese over here, carbs. I mean, it's carbs all day. And that's not counting the cheese involved with the eggs and the beans. This is so carb heavy.
Bismillah. Yeah. All right,
By the way, Chantal, you just got through cooking. On top of wiping your face of all the sweat, wash your hands.
Take just a bite of some things to show you. Okay. Number one, one of my favorite things to do is take a piece of cheese and tomato.
Okay, so that was confirmed. Thank you for telling on yourself. So you said you like to cook for your husband, but your husband isn't there. So you're taking a bite of that cheese and the tomatoes, so that those 2 plates are strictly for you. Got it.
Oh.
I can't with her. Who in the F needs 2 plates to eat off of for breakfast?
Piece of bread.
Okay, you know what? I made a promise to y'all. Like, she's eating. Sorry about that. Like, she's eating. You guys can see she's eating. Does she finish eating? I'm not watching her eat. I refuse. I don't care what she says. Is there a point where she stops eating? Are we done with the food? Okay, we'll start from here.
This is pretty much kind of breakfast we eat almost daily.
No. That's the kind of breakfast you eat. I don't think Salah eats all that. I think that's you.
For me, I love the eggplant, the bread, the cheese, tomatoes. Cheese and tomatoes are my ultimate favorite thing. I always have to have fresh tomatoes in the house. And the full and eggs, very good. So these are some traditional items you will see in an Arabic breakfast.
You know, she talks about doing walking videos and going out and being active. But the brunch or breakfast she just had, that'd be the kind of thing that will put you out for a while. That's the kind of stuff that sits heavy on your stomach and it takes hours to digest. Guaranteeing she's not going to get out. She's not going to be active. That's why she fudges around when it comes to her walking videos. She loads up on stuff like this that it doesn't digest quickly or easily.
Depending on the region you're from, this is mostly how, like I said, my husband would eat growing up. A lot of these staple foods, especially the makdous, is mostly a Syrian thing. You'll see it at a lot of Syrian grocery stores here. I did do a video on a Syrian grocery store in the past, so that's somewhere on my channel. I can try to link it below in the description. But yeah, so I'm going to enjoy breakfast, and I appreciate you guys watching.
Okay, so that's it for this react. That's all I got for this one. We'll see what else she was doing. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this react video. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here this morning, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.